What to do in a dangerous or embarrassing situation. You've clogged the toilet at someone else's house. And that's always a very embarrassing situation. The truth is, it'd be nice if we could normalize that, but I'm not going to spearhead that particular effort. But yeah, I mean, it happens. It's not like somebody did it on purpose, you hope. Okay, but if it happened to you, if you did it at someone else's house and you don't want everyone to know you clogged the toilet, let's say there's a party going on or something like that. Okay, first of all, you only have so much time because if you take too much time in the bathroom, people are going to start freaking out. And there's probably a limited number of bathrooms for the number of people who are at the party. So you kind of want to get this done, get out, and have nobody be the wiser. So let's talk about it. Okay, step one, look for a plunger. Okay, you're going to look around for a plunger. If they have a plunger, I'm going to tell you real quick how to plunge a toilet. Most people do it wrong. And I mean most, like I've met plumbers who don't know this. Okay, you want to, first of all, you want a good seal. Okay, you'll see the toilet has a hole where everything goes in, and around the edge of that, that's where the lip of the plunger has to go around that because you're trying to form a good strong seal around that. Next thing is, as you push in, all right, you're kind of pushing water in, you're pushing air in and everything like that, but the air in the plunger itself will come bubbling out and can cause things to bubble back and splash onto you. So you push in very slowly, okay? Because you're trying to release that air. Now, when you pull back, that's the thing. The plunger doesn't work by pushing the clog through. The plunger works by applying suction on the clog, pulling it out, and sort of letting it reassemble itself so that it flows through. Okay, so it's on the pull that you want to put all your strength, not on the push. The push is gentle, the pull is firm. Okay, so it's gentle pull. You're not going to pull so hard that you pull the toilet out. You don't even want to break the seal around it because if you break that seal, you're going to have to put it back and get that seal again. So it's out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in. See? That was weird there, but yeah, that's what it is. So that's how you use the plunger, and you do that until it goes. And you usually, when you crack the seal, not crack this, crack the clog, it you can kind of tell like it starts to flow almost immediately. You also may have to add water because as you're doing that, when you push in, even if you're pushing gently, you're kind of often put. Usually, if you're doing things well, you're pushing water and it's going like around the edges of the clog, kind of. So the amount of water in the toilet is going down, and you won't be able to get a good seal. You won't be able to get the vacuum that you need. So you might have to add water. So we're going to get to the next thing. Is there a container that can hold water in the bathroom? This could be, ideally, it will be a bucket. A lot of people keep a bucket for cleaning in their bathroom. It could be under the sink. It could be behind the toilet, or if they have a linen closet in the bathroom. Those are the places I would look. But if there's any other place that obviously where they might have a bucket, look there. If they don't have a bucket, look for a large cup. But be careful. I mean, this could be their kid's cup they brush their teeth with or something. So don't be gross with it. Don't allow anything bad to happen to the cup. But if you're just filling it with water and pouring that in the sink, the toilet, that's okay. Final tool you can use would be like if there's a waste paper basket in there. The problem is make sure you take any trash out of the waste paper basket and put it somewhere so that you can put it back later after you've done it, because you're going to want to use probably the tub to fill the waste paper basket. You're going to hot water, and you're going to pour it slowly. One, you don't want it to splash back onto you, and two, you don't want to overfill. So you want to make sure you're pouring it slowly in a controlled manner so that it's not splashing, and you can stop if it starts to get too full. That's going to be an important thing if we don't have a plunger, because our next technique we're going to use is soap, hot water and soap. If they have liquid hand soap, like the pump kind, pump a good amount of that into the toilet, okay? We're making that water super slippery and slick. Then we're going to pour in hot water using whatever container. I just told you how to find the container. Use the tub, get hot water. You don't want it to be like boiling hot, but anything coming out of the tap is almost certainly going to be okay. Too hot of water can crack the porcelain in the toilet, but you should be fine with stuff right out of the tap. You're going to pour that in. Now you got to let it sit, which is going to be a big problem for you if you're at like a party, because you might be taking up the only bathroom or one of the few bathrooms. While you do that, I don't have an answer for that. I mean, I would just say, yeah, I clogged the toilet in here, and I would just bite the bullet if somebody asked. But you might want to say something like, yeah, I'm not feeling that great. I'll be out in just a minute, something like that, and try to solve the problem. Okay. After maybe 10 minutes, you can flush the toilet and hope it goes down. Moving on to the next step, if the water, after you flush the toilet, if the water is filling up, and you're afraid it's going to go over, okay, I'm assuming you don't know anything about toilets, because some of you probably don't. Most of you know this, but I'm telling it anyway. There's the seat of the toilet, okay? That's like where you sit to poo or whatever. And then your back would go up against this part. This is called the tank, okay? It holds all the water that goes into the toilet when you flush it. And the top of the tank is easily removable, okay? It's just a big ceramic lid. Careful, dropping it will be extremely loud, and if it breaks, it will be extremely expensive. So you want to handle it with care, but you take that right off and put it down. Now, inside the toilet, there's a floating mechanism. Don't worry about that. But at the bottom of the tank, through the water, at the bottom of the water, there's going to be a flapper, okay? It goes up like this, and when it's up, it lets water into the toilet. So if you feel there is a danger of the tank flowing into the toilet so much that it's going to overfill the toilet, you need to reach into the back of the take the lid off the tank, reach in, get to the flapper, and close it. And usually if you just hold it shut for a second or two, it'll stay shut, okay? That's a different problem if it keeps coming open. And you didn't cause that problem, if that's the problem. But yeah, you hold that shut, and then the water will stop flowing into the toilet, and the tank can start to fill up, which means you can get another flush in a minute when it fills up. That's about it. Honestly, if both of these fail, you just have to bite the bullet and say, hey, I clogged your toilet. I'm so sorry. Do you have a plunger? I can go in and try to plunge it and fix it. Or, you'll have to see for yourself what solution you have to come up with. Honestly, a clogged toilet's not a big deal. Most people know how to take care of it if they own a house, because, well, or an apartment or whatever. I mean, if you live in a place where there's no one else to plunge a toilet for you, you should learn how to plunge a toilet, because, well, toilets get clogged. It just happens. All right, good luck.